addition to that.
That person sounds stupid that said that, but also, is it ridiculous that I don't know what Blue's Clues is?
People. It's not just person, it's people. It was like 30 different people on various social media be like, oh, Blue's Clues? And look, I looked at the Blue's Clues thing because I did not know what that looked like. And I looked at the Blue's Clues thing, and it doesn't even fucking look like this. No. And I was like, how are there so many of you that know? And that's why I realized that we're never going to get along. So that said, ladies and gentlemen, it's good to be here. If you want to tip, you can do so. Top right of the screen is our Venmo. As always, you can PayPal, laughfromhome.com. You can also Super Chat on YouTube. We always appreciate the PayPal and the Venmo the most because that way it actually gets to us. And we have learned that Facebook stars actually cost you nothing, but they're worth $1 million for us. So if you want to give them us, that's a great way to do it. We finally figured out that each Facebook star is worth $1 million for us. But we also added a new thing. Apparently on Twitter now, there are super robo-like, I don't even know what the fuck they call it, but there's something on Twitter you can do too. If you watch the show, wherever you watch it, please support it. And with that, speaking of support, our support.
Twitter, well, all right, I don't want to cut you off, but the Twitter money that you can tip now, it comes with a warning saying this might not be factual money.
Yeah. Absolutely. I actually hear that Twitter money is a secret agent of Antifa. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome.
That's just facts.
Yeah, look, I'm not saying it is. I'm just putting it out there in case it is. You know, that's how rumors work. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Chris Bowers. Everybody, Chris Bowers.
Wow.
Hey, Steve, I'm going to say not all of us got to watch The Simpsons growing up. Some of us, our parents wouldn't let us because it was too disrespectful to adults, and you're showing your yellow privilege right now, and I don't like that. So, you know, maybe, be such a dick to people that grew up differently than you. You know, I think that's what we're trying to learn.
I want a representation of my culture. I'm a little jaundiced, so I felt that they were like me.
Listen, I'm standing in solidarity with yellow privilege right now.
Jesus Christ. All right. Well, and by the way, let me say this. We do get the YouTube money. They just take a decent percentage of the money out, so it does help us more. I don't like saying that we don't get it. We get it. It's helpful.
We get it.
We don't, and the stars are great, too. We don't know what they're worth, but hey, thanks for doing that. If you want to make sure to give us money and we get all the money, do it Venmo or PayPal. That's what we're saying. But everything else is appreciated. We love you guys supporting the show and supporting us, and we appreciate it. And speaking of the quarantine, the fourth leg of the tripod, Queen Rachel is here. Queen, how you doing?
Still up for adoption.
By the way,
at this point, that dog's kind of like the food that was left at the very beginning of the quarantine at the grocery store. I'm not sure it's going anywhere. I think it's going to be there for a while.
We just need to do a segment like we're local morning news. Like we're just like, hey, look at these wonderful dogs that are available. Like we have to do it. We have to do it that way. And I'll show Milton, and people will be like, I want to adopt Milton, and then we'll just give them JR and not tell them the difference.
Art.
Love it.
Art. I just Googled it, you guys. Steve misspoke. Facebook stars cost the people giving them $1 million, and we get nothing.
Oh, that's I was trying to get them to give them, but that's another way to do it. By the way, also Ben expanding his cheese ensemble there. It's more than just string now.
You better believe
it. You know what, Ben? I used to think that you just had. I don't know why you ate during the show. I thought it was a time management thing, but no, I think you just eat all the time. We're about to go to protest yesterday, and I look over, and he's eating a bag of turkey. He's got turkey in a bag that he's eating. Just didn't say anything. Didn't say, hey, we're gonna eat. Just hey, I'm just eating turkey out of a bag. I'm like, this motherfucker just eats every fucking 40 minutes. He's like a fucking goldfish or something. What's going on?
By the way, Taylor in the chat just said, bag turkey. It definitely sounds like a Homer Simpson thing for sure.
I do eat a lot, and I felt like I was being kind of pigeonholed with the string cheese life. I honor it, but I want people to know that I do more than that. That I can do Munster. My favorite cheese. This might shock people. Swiss.
It's Ben.
So you're saying all cheese matters? Is that what you're saying, Ben? All cheese matters? Okay, that's good. That's a good thing.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Yesterday, I actually don't fault Ben for eating before.
Oh shit!
That was insane. I don't fault Ben for eating before we went to the protest yesterday, just because like we didn't know how long we were gonna be there. We didn't know. It's not like we're out there and like what if we're in the middle of something and then suddenly it's like I'm kind of hungry. You guys want to stop for a snack? You guys want some Thai food? I'm gonna pick up some Thai food. If you guys want to, I'll stay at City Hall. You guys go get the Thai food. So like it made sense to eat before.
Thank you for saying that.
I didn't say it didn't make sense to eat. What I'm saying is he pulled a bag of turkey out of a backpack. It wasn't like we'd been out for 4 hours. We'd just gotten to where we were going. We went to go use the bathroom at our buddy's place that was helping us, and then he's already eating turkey. Anyway, it's fine. Again, you know what you want. I'm just saying, I didn't realize you fed every 45 minutes. I didn't realize you were a gremlin. I apologize. I
have to feed as often as I can, and also, though I've learned it's very hard about eating a bag of turkey with a mask on. You have to really kind of go like really just quickly like down, pull, feed. Pull it back up. It's very dangerous.
Yeah. I had trouble. I had an apple, and that was very, very difficult with a mask. It takes a while to take the bite, so it was tough.
Million of bites. I also learned something very interesting. Obviously, we were there in solidarity with Black Lives Matter and with racial justice and making sure that we reform our corrupt police systems. But since this is a comedy show and we're not here about trying to be too political, I learned an interesting tidbit about Steve Hofstetter yesterday.
Oh, that I've never ridden a bike.
Doesn't know how to ride a
Can't
bike.
Ride a scooter. Yeah.
What?
Can't ride a bike.
We tried to get him to ride a scooter, and
we'll delve into it.
I've never seen anybody more scared on a scooter.
Okay, we will delve into it completely.
But by the way, Steve, once you said I've never ridden a bike, we all got it. Like, if you've never understood that balance problem, I mean, it's a thing you got to learn.
We're going to talk about this much more thoroughly, but for the good of the show, I'm going to wait till there are 2 more comedians who can also make fun of me for it.
Great.
That's a solid point. That's a solid point. Why don't we do this? Let's get to the games, and then we'll get to some chats, and then we will get into those comics so we can make fun of you not being able to ride a bike. All right, perfect. So we had a fun overnight game last night, which was SDSC haiku. So they made haikus just about SDSC. So there were a couple I liked.
I have some favorited for this too.
Yeah, I said a couple I liked. I had while we stay indoors, what is more appropriate than our inside jokes? Which I'm assuming that's a haiku. I don't know what a haiku is, but I think that's the right syllables. That was Beryl. Lola had we use Zoom to cheat. The no drinking alone rule. We thank you, Bowers. I like that one because they're drinking. Jeremy Day had this is my haiku. I bet you were expecting me to make a pun. And I know haikus don't have to rhyme, but my favorite was from Jordan Mearns because it did rhyme, and it was Rachel announces Jessica tips $20. Or that doesn't rhyme. The next one rhymes. Sorry. Rachel announces Jessica tips $20. BT says thank you. That's a very deep cut for the whole show.
That's a great one.
Like that. And this is the one that I liked because it rhymed. As Done Talk is the one I liked the best, which was inside jokes abound, a community we found, in laughs I will drown. So nice work. There, Done Talk. So Ben, which ones did you like?
I got some I like, but also my favorite thing about having BT on the show is like we'll all be going on a pretty funny riff, all 4 of us having great moments, and then BT will just go, "Steve, you're the greatest."
Ben, in fairness to BT, that is also my favorite thing about him on the show. I could use him to defend me on this bike thing coming up in a couple of minutes. We'll find out.
Some of my favorite haikus were Beryl said, "I tried to haiku, pulled an all-nighter on this. Bowers won't pick it."
And he didn't.
Beryl also said, "Bowers explains jokes that Hofstetter repeats twice, ruining Ben's bits." Also,
that was kind of a weaponized haiku on that one, Ben. Nice work.
Yes, it was. It was. Weaponized haikus are one of the biggest threats facing society now,
and also playing at the Roxy next week.
Shag Nasty said, "Queen, cheese, hot dog, egg, rhinoceros vagina, balls on top. How's that?"
That's phenomenal.
There's some incredible ones. I mean, Done Talk also said, did you already read this one? I don't think you did. Inside jokes abound, a community we found.
That's the one I just read last. Ben
doesn't watch the show.
That was my favorite one that I said one, but no, I didn't read it at all.
Yeah. I don't know. Have you read this one from Done Talk? Inside jokes abound, a community. Duntalk also said, Ben will struggle much trying to cram his thoughts in. Haiku is too short. And then this one's incredible. Jordan Mearns says, Ben's props and Steve's hair ain't got nothing on Bowers' built-in pocket square.
Oh, wow. That must have come in late. That was great. That's
Is
my
that
favorite one.
575? I don't know.
And the last one from Duntalk, like a tiny lass, which Gleib pulled out of his ass. Here come the little hands.
I also had one that I wanted to submit for that, which is just hot dog, egg, and cheese, all wrapped in a tortilla, served best with bone broth.
I love it. I want to thank real quick
wait.
before we go to the... Oh, go ahead, Ben.
Sorry, there's one last one that's so great about this new normal we are living in now, and I think we have to be honored here. Jordan Mearns says, who would have thought that hat-wearing hot dogs are now considered normal?
They're still not. Let's be honest, they're still not.
Well, thanks for playing the game. I do want to thank our Patreon people, too, right now. We had added a new one, Dave Adler, Isolation Nation. He did that level, so Dave Adler's now a Patreon guy. I want to thank Jessica, Zara, Tam, Frank, and Ronald for being in the front row on front row level, and Duntalk is at game level. So the Patreon /SDSC, check that out. Come be a Patreon. We would appreciate that. And
just regular slash. One of my pet peeves in life. You know, people say backslash. It's actually forward slash, and you don't even need to say forward slash. It's implied. Just say slash.
You gonna be okay?
I doubt it.
Yeah, I just grew up. I just
Facebook stream, so I gotta reset that. By the way, guys.
I learned all my slashing from Jason, and he backslashes for sure. So maybe that was my problem. Was all the Jason movies I watched and all the backslashing.
You know, it was
I'll
my
just say
fault for
slash.
interrupting that joke.
I'll just say in slash from now.
My fault.
It wouldn't have been a great joke. It was never going to be a great joke. It was just a filler while you fix the Facebook. Okay, here we go.
Wait, I like to walk this way. I go like this, and then I go. I'm a human backslash. You get it?
Yeah, I say that. Yeah. You're stunting. I like it. Ben, what's today's game? Why don't we talk about today's game?
You guys, today's game is just pondering life and all of its glories and confusions. I mean, I'm sorry, that's not it at all. Today's game is we are going to make a video game peaceful. Make a video game peaceful. So an example of that, please, Steve.
So some examples are Grand Car Wash Auto, or Redhead Redemption.
I like them.
Super Mario Brothers who love each other.
Yes.
Yeah. World of Arts and Craft. You know, like there's a lot you could do with this.
I had Mortal Hugging as my example. Mortal Hugging.
Finish hugging him.
Never finish hugging him.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that is today's game. For $5 or more in the Super Chat, Venmo, or PayPal, you can be entered into the game where you will win one of all the albums from our hosts on the show, plus a ticket to the front row. And with that, Steve, I'm going to introduce the comics. Then we'll
By the way,
yes.
I know we give my albums a lot of shit. One of my 2 albums that you get as a prize has 2 musical tracks on it. Any of your guys' billion albums have musical tracks on them?
Yes.
Shit.
No, I'm a comedian, not a musician, but that's neither here nor there. But okay.
It's not me playing music. I know better than that. It's someone set one of my bits to a song. So that's what it is.
Okay. Well,
fan art. Yeah, Steve has fan art, Ben. Do we have fan art? We don't have fan art.
I don't know that I have fan art.
I don't have fans, let alone art from fans. But that's not true. All the penis, all the hot dog art is okay. Correct. Yeah, I stand corrected. I have fans and art.
You have fan art, and also.
Wait, hold on.
I'm saying I realized that making fun of my. I was making fun of myself, and then I realized I was making fun of myself and self-deprecating. Then I realized that my awesome fans that have made art, I would be dissing them, and I backpedaled to say I'm not going to make fun of myself that way anymore. I'm going to say I do have fan art.
Exactly. Be proud of it. You have a fan named Art at the very least.
Winkleplex made a drawing for me. That's the Great Kazoo, but it's like a hand sketch right now, and she has promised it will be completed at some point. And I've been waiting for weeks, sad, anxious, and alone.
Well,
She sends me a new hot dog picture every day, colored in.
All right, let's introduce some comics. We're back on
I think,
Facebook.
I think we're back to this. Is the Facebook in? All right, we got two great comics today. We have two great comics. First, we have Caitlin Cheroski. Caitlin, how are you? Good to see you. Woo! Who's on her camera? There we go.
I'm coming here live from the storm outside, so I'll keep you updated on that.
Awesome. Thank you. We also have Jeff Scheen is here. Jeff, how are you, buddy?
I haven't shaved yet.
Nice.
I can't get any higher though. It's just on the chin and underneath on the neck.
I can't do it. I had to, just yesterday, knowing that we would be outside for that long, I had to shave just so I could wear the fucking face mask without it itching. Like, I can't.
Yeah, it gets bunched up. You gotta
Yeah,
put
it's awful.
That makes your mouth look big.
Yeah. Well, good. It would match the rest of my head. Perfect.
It takes about 3 weeks to get over the itching. Once you're through the itching, it never itches again. But you got to commit to growing a beard. That's how it works. First
And
3 weeks.
also, we're excited to have an extra special celebrity guest here today joining us, Wayne Gretzky, everybody.
Well, you know what, Gleib? You miss 100% of the jokes you don't take. So we appreciate.
That was good. I like that. I like that one. Steve, introduce our audience.
That wasn't an insult to you, Ben. That was
a great joke.
Wayne Gretzky quote that was okay. You
Oh,
know what?
the
Hey,
Gretzky
audience.
quote, I didn't put that together. I'm sorry.
We're happy to. Yeah, if I had said you miss 100% of the jokes you do take, that would be an insult.
Ben doesn't know who Wayne Gretzky is. He just seen the bobblehead on his dad's desk, and it looked like that guy. So he wasn't sure exactly what any of that meant.
Just wait till later in the episode when I show you guys my hat trick.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, joining us in our live video audience, we have Jessica, we have Ron, we have Zara, we have Tony, we have Tam, we have Frank Notaro. Thank you for joining us. As always, if you want to join us in a future episode, you can do so at laughfromhome.com, or you can be a part of the Patreon, patreon.com/SDSC, and if you join the Patreon, you get all kinds of other crazy perks. We're going to be adding fun things to that as we go. So, yeah.
Steve insists on calling it Patreon, pronouncing it that way. I think America knows and the world knows it's pronounced Patreon, and I think Steve knows it.
Say Patreon?
You always say Patreon. Everybody else says Patreon.
Patreon! Patreon!
So if you want to join our Patreon.
Yeah.
Patreon!
Steve's favorite movie is Titanic, so I get what he's doing.
Yeah.
Join the Titanic. We're going down. We're going down. Women and children first can join the Titanic.
Well, I mean, when he draws her, that's okay. I'm
All right,
stopping.
Rachel,
Don't keep this camera on me.
Rachel, we got any tips before we get into the first comic?
Life
No
tips in
tips.
general, suggestions for us?
Well, Amin Asala had a very funny comment about the bicycle riding. He said we should do another fundraising episode. For $1,000, Steve rides a bike for 15 minutes. For $5,000 for a hoverboard. Like it.
Rides or tries to ride, because the same way that like I smoked pot, I tried to. I didn't do it well. So
Steve,
as
I
long
don't
as
want
could
you
do
to
it
feel
not
bad
well.
about the fact that you don't ride a bike. Neither does my
I don't.
mom. So you guys have that.
Cool.
My mom literally got a bike.
Wait,
Mute
did
yourself,
you
Ben.
mute yourself?
The
Oh,
host
shit.
muted me. I don't know why. What happened?
That was Taylor. It was not me, although I think I made him do it by thinking about it.
My dad loves riding a bike, and so my mom literally bought a tricycle and has a tricycle that she bikes with. An adult tricycle.
All right, we're gonna talk more about this after the first set. You guys can absolutely roast me for not riding a bike. We'll have a complete segment on it. But let's introduce.
Steve's
the
gonna push this away till the whole episode's done. You can do it after the episode's done.
I feel
This is how
we're
we
gonna
get
we're
people
gonna
to stay tuned.
yeah we're gonna scream for 3 months. Why not ride a bike? That'll be the end of the show forever. He'll never actually tell us the story.
What's in the bike?
Who's on the mic? All right, so I'm going to bring our first comic right now. She's originally from Michigan, but now lives in Chicago, where she's a regular at the Laugh Factory. She performed at the 10,000 Laughs Comedy Festival. Give it up for Caitlin Cheroski!
Hi, everybody. I'm not going to shame you about the bike thing. I think it's perfectly fine, and you're normal, and you're beautiful that way. Hi, guys. I will do a few COVID-19 jokes. I hope that's all right. The quarantine stuff. I've been trying to be like on top of my parents. I feel like we've all turned into like babysitters for old people now. And my dad called me the other day, and he told me that he got his stimulation check in the mail. I was like, don't think that's what it's called, Dad. No, he's like, no, I got it in the mail, the stimulation check. It has his signature and everything. I'm like, all right, that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. But anyway, so he's like, he's having a hard time because he's a social dude, like, and particularly with strangers, like people who don't know him are his like favorite audience. And so he likes to go to the grocery store and just bother people, but people are nice, you know. One of his favorite moves is to try on sunglasses and ask people what they think, which is it's like a very 14-year-old desperate girl energy that he has. But he told, when I was talking to him the other day, he was like, yeah, now I go to the grocery store, Caitlin, can't touch anybody. You can't touch anybody at the grocery store. I'm like, who were you touching at the grocery store, Dad? Is that what you think the stimulation check is for? It's not for that. Honestly, my dad's been doing pretty well recently. My mom's been the one that's been a little kooky. She did that 23andMe, you know, like the genetic whatever to figure out where you're from. And she called me up and she's like, I found out that you're Jewish. Okay, so talk about it on stage. You're Jewish, talk about it. Just found that out. And a little bit eager. And then I called up all my siblings. I'm like, you guys hear about us being Jewish? And they were like, no. And I was like, uh-oh. And then I got this text from her. And yeah. And she was like, I just looked up my 24andMe and we are not Jewish. Sad face, sad face. I don't know how I got this wrong. Okay. And then 30 seconds later, she texts me, I lied. I wanted you to have more confidence when you perform. And since a lot of comedians are Jewish, I told that. I'm a terrible person and mother. Which is such a Jewish mom thing to say, right? Oh, man. Trying to guilt me, Mom. Good. I'm like, you nailed it. I know, like people ask me, they're like, well, you could be Jewish on your dad's side, Caitlin. And my dad got the form for the 23andMe, and he was just like, Caitlin, they wanted my email. I'm like, yeah, Dad, they also want your genetic information. No, keep that email under wraps, Pops. That's what they're after. Yeah. No. Where is your head at? I didn't grow up Jewish, unfortunately. I grew up Catholic. If you can't tell from the weird sexless aura that surrounds me. Yeah. It's funny because like being Catholic, I don't practice Catholicism anymore, but I like to say that I'm culturally Catholic, which just that means that like when bad things happen to me, I blame myself. We've been there, yeah. That's Catholicism, right? Yeah. Like earlier today, I stubbed my toe really bad, and I was like, God damn it, Caitlin. That's what you get for wearing mascara. That's a healthier relationship with a God, right? That makes sense. He's after me all the time. I do think that we do need to be like you know, more like understanding of people's like religious beliefs, pretty personal and things, or, whatever kind of kooky beliefs. I feel like this keeps coming up with me. A lot of buddies of mine will come up to me and they'll be like, I like this chick, Caitlin, but like, she's into horoscopes, she's into rocks. And I'm like, yeah, and you're into Rick and Morty, so why don't you shut the fuck up, okay? It's all useless nonsense, all right? Like, cool it. Get off that high horse, buddy. I have a roommate who won't bring up horoscopes anymore because on dates she kept getting like such shit for it. And I was like, well, then how do you figure out their sign? And she's like, I asked them their birthday. And I was like, and what do they say to that? She's like, well, they usually are like, why, are you into horoscopes? And then I say, no, I'm just super into birthdays. And I'm like, that is way weirder to me. I write them down, I put them under my pillow at night, I'm just fucking terrifying. What are you doing? I do think that's something that's kind of nice that the quarantine's taken away, is like the pressure to date. Like I wasn't dating before, to be honest, but like now I don't have to, which I love. I don't know if you've ever been to Chicago, but Chicago standards are a little, if you've ever been here. The women here are gorgeous, right? And the men are definitely here, and they're present. There's something to be said for that. They're representing. I thought about this, like I used to hold like Seth Rogen personally responsible for the disparity of looks, I was always like, he's the one that gave these guys all this idea that they all deserve a hot Katherine Heigl to be fine with them being a stoner, you know what I mean? Like I held him, which is not fair, that's not Seth Rogen's fault, I thought about this and I was like, oh, this has been happening for like ever, we can look to literature, like Phantom of the Opera, Quasimodo, I mean, these guys, like, they weren't going for the village hag, okay? They were going for top tier women. Am I right? Like, I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like if you actually talk to Quasimodo, he'd be like, yeah, no one's ever shown me any kind of like physical affection, but like no fat chicks. Am I right, guys? Like, Quasimodo, you stupid incel. I don't know. That's actually where he got that hump, actually. Yeah, like that wasn't, he wasn't born with that. He got that from being online writing terrible things about women all day. Just like, story, yeah. And that's all I wanted to do for you guys. I hope that's
awesome.
Right.
Great job. Cheroski.
Excellent.
Great job.
As always, you could tip, you could Venmo top right of the screen, you could super chat, or you could PayPal Laugh from Home. I love the joke about your dad, the idea if he was just in the grocery store testing melons. Like, that's inappropriate.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, absolutely hilarious. And thank you for the compliment of the everybody else doesn't care. They're still going to roast me for the non-bike thing, but I appreciate that, Caitlin. Thank you. Rachel, what do we got coming in?
Yeah, so we have Done Talk tip 25 Canadian for Caitlin to put towards your therapy budget.
Oh, thank you. I need that. I need that. That's fair.
We have Amina Sala, $5. You had me at stimulation check.
Question about that there, Rachel. So her name's Amanda, and you were always saying Sala, and now you're saying Amenasala. So you're just going further from the name.
No, they corrected me in the YouTube chat before. So I believe it's Amina Sala.
Okay, once again, Amanda.
It's not Amanda.
Oh my God. Farther and farther off every day.
Ben, stop gentrifying names. Although I'll bet anything at a Starbucks, they're Amanda. Like if they just give their name.
Yes, totally.
Amanda, yeah, absolutely.
Carmel is Heather at Starbucks, so you know.
Which is crazy because they serve stuff that has caramel in it.
It's true. That is very true.
All right, Rachel, what do you got?
We have Jess in our live audience, $25. Caitlin, there really are no words.
Nice.
Nice.
I am very excited to bring on my guest, the author of
What the hell is that?
We Want
Wait.
Our
What the hell's
Bodies
happening?
Back, an
What the
amazing
hell
Are
is
you
happening?
Are you playing
you
your
are
own
playing-
podcast?
Author? What?
I'm so sorry.
You
were
played your own
playing
podcast on our
podcast?
show? Is that what's happening?
Ben, you get
plug
ample
it-
time to
Not
plug
about you,
stuff.
Ben.
Yeah.
The end, Ben. We do that at the end. We don't play our podcast in the middle of the show.
I honestly don't know how that happened. I'm so sorry.
I'm very excited to bring
Shit.
I am very excited
How is that happening?
the author
Ridiculous.
All right.
How excited are you? I swear to God, I'm not trying.
on my
Mute. Here we go.
Oh, what do you got?
All right, we have Dana, $10. Caitlin, every word you spoke is both true and funny. Thanks.
Nice.
We have Ron Wayner. I think he's in our live audience today. $10 for Caitlin Cheroski. Just wanted to have Rachel say your name. Fantastic set. I got it, right?
Yeah, she did it.
See? All right. I think we're caught up for now.
Okay,
cool.
so I'm going to say something that could be taken very much the wrong way, but I'm going to try to be careful how I say this right now.
Oh, God.
So, Caitlin's joke about the disparity between beautiful women and ugly men in Chicago was interesting
Oh,
to me.
yeah.
Because
Yep.
I've seen that one other place, and it was in Poland, and there's a huge Polish population in Chicago. And I have a theory that there were a bunch of very big, strapping, handsome men in Poland, and then they all got killed in several wars. And, like, that's how that happened. Now, all right, you guys know...
No. By the way, I can't tell if that's a joke or a theory. If we're supposed to comment on that, like,
Hey,
actually,
guys.
like,
Yeah, I'm
Well,
not
what I didn't want was silence. That's
There
not
was
what
a-
I wanted.
I was
from it.
thinking about it. I'm trying to listen more, Steve. I'm being serious on that.
Trying to
And
listen
so,
more.
Guys,
I
there's
know
only
it's
one
like-
way to respond to that, to be honest with you, and it is like this.
I'm very proud to
very
bring on.
excited to bring on
Now, when you want to do it, you can't. That's actually also awesome.
That
Like
was
when it's
my
an accident, you don't know how to stop it. But the minute you want to make a joke, it's like, nah, this is probably a bad idea.
Yeah.
Caitlin, you're right, and I don't think it's Seth Rogen though, because I've talked about this for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, the problem I think is television, because there's 4 types of TV shows. I don't know if you know that there's there's people falling in love with each other at work. There's hot women falling in love with nerds, hot women marrying idiots, and Law and Order SVU. Those are the 4 types of TV shows we have.
By the way,
So-
Law and Order SVU is just when the first 3 go wrong.
Yes, no, for sure, no, for sure. That's what it is. It's a
First 3 are
cautionary
the
tale.
prequel. No, but it's true because if you think it through, I mean, I had the Simpsons background at the beginning. That's just the honeymooners. So you've
Right.
got the honeymooners is the same as the Simpsons, is the same as Family Guy, is the same
Right.
as Flintstones, is the same. It's the big dumb oaf husband with like
Yep.
with the attractive woman,
Yep.
And that's because that's who watches TV, right? It's
and that's
just
who writes
it's just
TV.
It's dorks,
Yes,
right? Like
that's who writes, yeah.
Women are ruling the world. They're out raising kids and doing real shit. Fucking hot dudes are out fucking. It's just dudes like me at home, like, I'll get some one day too, Leonard. Thanks for giving me hope. It's fucking terrible. I get.
I guess my only question is, are we the nerds or the idiots, and when exactly did Rachel fall in love with us?
She's conveniently muted.
Well,
Rachel fell in love with one person on the show, and it's not the 3 of us. John Taylor.
That is great
Nicely
camera work,
done.
Taylor. Holy shit, that's great camera work.
Suddenly Rachel's looking sunburned. That's weird.
This year.
All right.
Rachel, anything else you want to tell us? Rachel, anything else you got to catch up on, or any feelings you want to talk about, or whatever?
I know I have no
Anything you
feelings. I have no feelings.
All
I do
right,
have
then
some
we
tips
can
for
talk
Caitlin.
before we bring our next comic. We can talk about this, everybody. So here's the deal. I've ridden on a bike a couple of times. When I was a kid, we didn't have access. Like my parents didn't have a bike for me. The one bike I could have gotten was this like shitty rusted like pink and red thing from my aunt from like the 70s, and I was like, no, I don't want to do this. And so then I didn't learn as a kid, and so I don't know how to do it. I play all the sports I play involve me being on my feet. I don't snowboard, I don't ski, I don't skate, I don't do any of that shit. So,
and again, I think this comes down to you don't like being out of control in any way, which
100%.
That's where you and I are complete opposite. I love being out of control almost all the time, and you hate it, and that's fine. That's just a personality thing. But yeah,
which is why you walked into a store, spun around, pointed to that jacket, and bought it because you didn't need to be in control.
Well, this jacket was a couch that I murdered. But my point is, I was real drunk when I did that, so I wasn't in control. So sometimes being out of control does lead to cool jackets. That's all I'm saying.
So here's the question, Steve.
Sorry, I'm just coughing at how casually Boward was like, yeah, I murdered that couch.
Can we teach you how to ride a bike?
It's not out of the question, but it was definitely not like yesterday was a very specific situation. We were trying to get to one of the sites that we thought one of the protests was at, and we wanted to do it quickly. And so we're like, okay, well, we'll get an Uber or a Lyft, and everything was like a 15-20 minute wait. So we're like, okay, we'll just walk. And then we passed by 5 scooters like they're the fucking dire wolves in the beginning of Game of Thrones. Like, it was ridiculous. It was exactly enough for us. And so we're like, okay, we'll ride scooters. And I was like, hey, I haven't ridden one of these before. And everybody's like, oh, it's super easy. I'm like, okay, no problem. And I paid $5.
What you said was, I will never ride a scooter because a doctor friend of mine said that would make brain trauma go up tenfold. And we're like, they're fun. And you went, okay, I'll give it a shot.
Well, no. And I said, I think that it's stupid there are so many of them. It's not that it would go up tenfold. It has gone up tenfold. Like, so many people come in missing half their head because they're like, I got on a scooter when I was drunk. Yeah.
I'm not disappointing with that point. I'm talking about how quickly you went from, okay, I'll try it, from this is going to create brain trauma.
I'm a gamer, and we were on our way to a protest. It was for a good cause, and I was like, okay, let me try this, and I got on the thing, and then Ben is fucking zipping around the street like he's Bart Simpson. And then he comes back over to me and he's like, I'm gonna jump the canyon. No, he comes back over to me, and he was like, oh, you just do it simply this way. I'm like, no, you do it simply that way. I do it very awkwardly this way. And I kept trying to do it, and I was like, you know what? Now is not the time. Of all times to slow you guys down and also possibly go to the hospital, it's not in the middle of a pandemic and a revolution. That's a bad idea. Yes. So I was just like, you know what? I'm good. You guys go ahead, and I'll walk. I'll be fine. I'll catch up with you guys. And then we found out there was no protest at that park anyway, so it was fine.
Yeah. In Steve's attempt to learn how to ride a scooter unsuccessfully held back racial progress in this country because we did not get it done.
That's true.
I mean, it was a valiant effort, but we were trying to explain. Bowers, too, was just one leg on there, blah. And then I was like, Steve, just trust yourself. And Steve got on the thing, and he was like, it was like a 12.0 earthquake. It was like, it was intense.
I just figured if I was going to crack my head open yesterday, it was going to be by peacefully protesting. So
yes. Yeah, and then you could have immediately prove it. He'd be like, look what happened to me. I was here in peace, and I'm bleeding from the head.
Yeah. They did shoot me with rubber bullets, and I fell off a scooter on the way here, but still it hurt, God damn it.
Yeah. I did admire you trying, because those scooters can be a little scary. They go fast, and you tried many times. You did try to go about 5-6 times before saying you didn't want to die, and I thought that was nice.
Well, I appreciate that. Look, anything for progress, man. We're all in this together, and if it's going to take... Look, as a redhead, I'm already standing out there in the sun. I'm already risking things, you know? So...
And then, there's a lot of risks that are hidden risks. You know, Trevor Pennick, Bauer's good friend who's been a guest on our show many times, was there with us too, and he and I went ahead on the scooters to check out that park. And we were going, he had a couple bumps. He was hitting speed bumps. I had to slow down. I got off. I got a little scared. And then we were heading back. And from about 50 yards away, I saw this very large red-shelled bug flying right at me. And he just bopped right off my forehead. I mean, I was going 20 miles an hour. This bug just bopped off my forehead. I was the windshield for this bug. It was not ideal. So I get it, Steve. It's a battle out there.
It's a dangerous road out there. That's why you gotta, Ben, what do I always tell you? You can't scoot without a visor. Always.
I thought you said you can't screw up your finances without an advisor. I thought that's what you had said.
Yeah.
And you can't screw up your campaign without a press secretary. Now we're full circle.
Oh, I know it.
Rachel, anything to catch up on?
We do, yes. Let's get some more to Caitlin's tips. We've got, let's start. We did Dave Adler. He always writes such long messages. $5.18. Caitlin, I accidentally did a Savannah Martin, and the host can explain. I Googled you to see some of your work and found you were looking to babysit. Did you practice your stand-up with the kids you babysat? P.S. Let your mom know that we accept you into the Jew world.
Oh my God, thank you. That's honestly the biggest compliment you can give a shiksa. I'm like, oh my God, thank you.
I would actually just like to say that the vote has not been officially cast, Caitlin. Don't get too
okay,
excited.
all right. I'll work for it.
I'm on the fence too. I'm on the fence.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's totally fair.
We have Shelly tipped $5 and said, hey, Caitlin, when's your birthday?
January 10th.
Ooh, I don't have January 10th yet. Let me write that down. Collecting them all like a Pokemon.
I just love the idea that someone playing like a birthday bingo card. Oh wait, Caitlin, did you forget your own set? That was
yeah, I totally didn't. Like,
She went, oh yeah!
Do I look like a January? And then I'm like, yeah, I get it.
That is, oh my God, Caitlin, that is such a Capricorn thing to do. And by the way, don't you dare think I didn't Google that. I did not know that ahead of time. I Googled that very quickly.
I also love the marketing genius of the Pokemon people that most products think of a slogan like that's a catchy slogan for their like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Heroes in a Half Shell, and Pokemon's like collect them all. It's just telling people to buy their shit as their slogan. Genius.
Yeah, every other slogan it's just implied. They were like, "Fuck it, we're gonna say just get all of it. You want all of this, or you're a loser."
Yeah.
I like
Pokemon. Tell your parents to get these for you.
A couple more things. So we've got Zara in our live audience, 20 Aussie, and said, so glad to hear that you've also gotten a Vatican bypass, Caitlin. Loved your set. Yeah. Stimulation check just sounds like a bunch of paper cuts waiting to happen.
It does.
Hey, more holes the merrier, am I right?
No, you're not.
No, you are not.
Sometimes I'm very glad when I'm not on camera for a joke.
By the way, that's the most you've ever sounded like a serial killer. A lot of times you do sound like a serial killer, but that one was the most. The more holes, the merrier. Okay.
But I will tell you, one of my tricks on this show is occasionally when I know the camera's not on me, I'll say an inappropriate joke, and then when it cuts to me, I act as though that wasn't me. I'll be like, "Who said that?"
We'll know it's you because I'll be repeating it and Barrows will be explaining it, so we'll know it's you.
That's why he repeats and I explain it, so we fucking finger you for all that bullshit you say off camera, you dick.
You just explained and repeated my joke.
I know.
He repeated it while saying he was going to finger me, so I feel like that's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Well,
threat or a promise, Bowers?
Go with your strengths. Go with your strengths.
Two more. We have Dana tipped the show $30 and said for Zara kicking ass on Facebook.
Nice.
Yep.
And then Mrs. William tipped, I guess Ellie had tipped a couple dollars for Ben to buy some crackers to go with his cheese. The perfect snacking option while listening to your own podcast, while taking part in a live show.
Well, let me just say, firstly, that crackers is an offensive term to white people. And second, I want to make clear that I am very excited.
And we muted him. All right. Are we caught up, Rachel?
Yes, we are.
All right. Let's get to our next comic, shall we? This will be fun. He has performed for the troops as well as was a finalist in the Funniest Comics of the Midwest. I don't know if you remember that contest we did a long time ago, Jeff, that you were a finalist of in Chicago. You now lives in New York. The very funny Jeff Scheen, everybody. Jeff Scheen.
Horse.
All right, I'm here, growing hair. Okay.
Growing hair.
That's all I've been doing. What's going on? COVID-19. What have I got on? It's a lot of people. What I saw. A COVID-19. A 2-day-old baby died of COVID-19. But the days are blending together, so it could have been 3 or 4. Okay.
Holy fuck!
All right.
Oh, wow!
Still a solid joke. I'm an evil Henny Youngman. Okay. NBA is coming back. It's starting up soon. My money's on Chicago. They're so good at shooting in the summer. All right. Keep going. I'm not going to make any money. I've been trying to write monologue jokes. This is what I keep coming up with. Okay. The Boston Marathon, they're going to be doing it at home, but you'll be near a pressure cooker, so it's like you're there. All right.
Oh.
For terrible monologue jokes. Let's get going on with me. What's happening in my life? I've just been watching a lot of movies. Oh, so many. I watched Aeronauts. I don't know if you guys have seen Aeronauts on Amazon Prime. It's like the story of the guy the first weatherman. He wanted to go up in a hot air balloon, and he's like, we can tell the weather. And it's a whole nice story, and he can't go up alone. He needs help, and he meets a woman, and she goes up with him. She's like his balloon pilot, and it's like based on a true story. And I was like, this is pretty cool. And then I looked it up, and that lady didn't exist. They added her in. They just went up with a man. They took the man out, put a woman in. It's like hundreds. They're not progressive. Like, we know that. Kids come back from school, like, Hitler had a black friend. Like, no, it's not. They were wrong back then. It's okay. We can handle it. Yeah, I've been watching so much. I've been quarantining with my girlfriend. And I've been trying to get her to watch movies I like. And I was like, we should watch The Professional. I remember liking The Professional. And during it, I had no idea. And she turns to me, she goes, wow, they really sexualized this 12-year-old girl. And she went, no, she's got a crush on him. We got into an argument for something I didn't care about. Now I'm defending how Natalie Portman's hitting on Jean Reno. I don't know. And then we looked it up, and the director was a rapist. So, I've been taking losses out here. That has been my whole quarantine. I've been trying to protest. I've been going out. I've gone out a few times, trying to be a good white. I'm trying. I went out on Sunday. This one I keep thinking about. It keeps me up at night because I went out on Sunday in Brooklyn. We meet up before the Manhattan Bridge. All right. Smaller crowd. There's cops. We're scared. I've never protested before. And then we see the big group of people coming from Barclays, like the backup. And everyone's like, we're taking the bridge. And I was so excited. And then we're walking across the bridge. I'm feeling it. And then I look and I see my friend. She's a black woman. I haven't seen her in months. And I shouted her name, went, hey. And she went, oh, you got a beard. And I went, yep. How are you? And I tried to catch up in the middle of her and she just looked at me and went, eh? We're on a bridge. I just panicked once. Oh boy, I've been taking so many losses out here. But we're doing all right, things are going okay. I've been trying to get my girlfriend to get a dog. I want a little dog. I love them. I want to because I grew up with a Yorkie. I don't know if anybody here grew up with small dogs. His name was Joey. I don't know if you like this story since I started off dark. This is probably end dark, but hold on. Joey, I used to hit golf balls in the backyard, and Joey would chase after the golf balls and bring them back, and I would just hit them. And I wanted to get good at golf because my dad liked golf. And then he pulled into the driveway one day, and I was like, hey, Dad, check this out. And I hit the golf ball as hard as I could, but I shanked it. So it just hit Joey right in his face. And he just cocked over and he just started shaking. So all my dad saw is me go, hey, check this out. And I murder his dog.
Oh, my God.
And he goes, what did you do? And I went, I did it for you. Like, I was trying to explain why I hit it so hard. And then he ran over and scooped up Joey, and we rushed him to the vet, and he lived. Joey survived, so don't worry. But when we got him back home, we had to reteach him sit. I knocked sit right out of him. Yeah. Dog with brain damage is still whack. So he's fine. He lived till he was 14. Yeah, so I've been doing that. Just thinking about wanting dogs. I've been playing a lot of video games. I love video games. But you forget, like, there's like kids in there with you. So it's just like you got to ignore the kids, you know? It's like I'm playing with children that I don't know. But my rule is you don't talk to the kids. I think that's fair. You don't chat with the children. You can play with them, but you don't talk to them. And I was playing one time, and then a kid went, "You ready to have a good game?" And then a grown man chimed in and went, "Yeah, let's have some fun." And I was like, "Don't you talk to that boy." That's my way, you know, don't you dare talk to that child. But that is about as much, you know. Oh, this one. This is just a thought. I don't know if you guys are, I don't know. I get Pence and how they're anti-gay because they're in the closet. Does that, you know what I mean? Because if we grew up in a world where like gay was normal, you know, and everyone's like, "Oh, you stay with your own kind, men with men, women with women," you know, and you're just like, "But I don't know, it's about that girl, she looks good." And then you become an old man, and you never did it. And you see some young guy grabbing a butt, you're like, "We got to kick his ass." You get mad. Okay, that one's too far. It's too far. All right, that makes sense. I'll end on this one. I can't. I'm just a lonely weirdo. So I'm like, help it. I grew up alone. Which I don't know if any only children are in here, but only children aren't families. There's just 3 people. It's not. My parents would be like, "We're a family." Like, we're a death away from a partnership. So this isn't like I had a friend who had family dinner. It's like, "I gotta go home. It's our family dinner night." I'm like, "All right, well, I'm gonna have pork chops with a married couple." So you enjoy yourself. I feel like I rambled enough. Thank you very much, everybody.
Jeff Scheen, everybody.
Jeff Scheen, obviously, if you want to tip, please do. As always, the tip jar is open. Top right of the screen is our Venmo. You could PayPal at laughfromhome.com, or you could super chat. I cannot believe that you beat the shit out of your dog. That is
Still can't drive either.
Yeah.
You know, Jeff, with the beard, your whole set, the way it kind of, it reminded me of what I imagine Tom Hanks's stand-up set would have sounded like after Castaway, like after he'd been on the island for a couple years, like with the beard and then just the fucking weird shit you've been thinking about by yourself.
Woods yokel.
Jeff, you have actually you have a joke that I quote to people.
Really?
Yeah, the joke about how only smart people commit suicide.
Oh
joke.
yeah.
It's such a great. I don't want to ruin the bit, but just the idea. The thing I always talk about is the premise of you never read a dumb suicide note.
Yeah. There's never one filled with spelling errors. Like it's always beautiful people that leave first.
Yeah. Such a dark joke. It's so good. All right. What do we got coming in, Rach?
Yes, we do. We have I think Jess started us off, and I have to say I was watching it in gallery view. Jessica was laughing her ass off, like having convulsions at times laughing. So she tipped Jeff $25 and said, "I love a good dead baby joke."
Yeah, real risky lead off there.
Oh my God, that reminds me of the worst joke I ever heard, and I can't say it. I shouldn't have even started this, but.
But on that note, let me just say I'm so excited to be here and introduce our next guest. What was it, Ben? I'm trying to.
No, that's Ben's third album title. This is the worst joke. Actually, I should have said it. I wish I wouldn't have brought it up.
I'll just tell you this: I was like enamored with this this woman that was studying to be a Presbyterian minister, and she was very serious, very religious. And I took her to see Tony Clifton at the Comedy Store, and I figured if she can laugh at this, she's cool. And he said the most horrible joke I ever heard, and she laughed so hard, and I was like, "This girl's cool."
Oh, I've had that happen the other way. I've had that happen the other way, where like someone I thought was cool, like came with me to a show, like someone I've been seeing for a while, came with me to a show, and like someone else did a joke that was really good, and she was offended by it, and I was like, this isn't gonna work.
Right.
Like there's no, yeah.
I can tell you the joke if Taylor promises to not have me on camera for it.
Distinctive voice.
Here's the joke. He goes, what sound does a baby make when you put it in a microwave? I don't know. I was too busy jerking off.
And let me just say, I cannot believe you just said that. You, sir, are a monster. For you. How am I not gonna take that swing? Come on.
Oh no, you have to.
It's a cheesy
Do it.
joke.
What I want to reiterate to everyone is there are no production meetings or a plan. This was not a plan. Ben Munster cheese with that joke written on the back of it. Fucking, there is not any fucking way that's.
I'm a monster today.
Yeah.
God damn it. That was...
all
Rachel,
right.
catch
All right.
us up. Let's go.
We've got Done Talk tipped Jeff 25 Canadian. We have Lucifer, £5. Jeff, you have an appointment here just for that set.
Nice.
Nice.
We've got a Dead Pirate, 20 Aussie. Sorry, I can't use Venmo because I'm Australian, but here's a tip for you.
Nice.
Dave Adler, $5. Jeff, knocking the sit out of a puppers. Great set. Razor, $5. For Jeff's handbasket, he's going to Helen. Yorkie lives matter. We have Tam, $5. Jeff, so much dark, so damn funny.
Thanks, Jim.
Then there is Zara in our live audience, 20 Aussie, making matching donations to the RSPCA, which is your ASPCA, the Red Cross, the Humane Society, and UNICEF as penance for my laughter. My diaphragm still hurts from laughing. Thank you.
Yeah, Jeff, I was going to suggest you adopt Rachel's dog, but after the golf ball story, I'm like, nah, probably shouldn't do that. Why don't you just
Is it tiny?
It's small.
It is
I mean, he's
tiny.
fat, but he's small.
He's not fat.
Not JR. No, not JR.
He's not fat?
Hear them
He's
say,
not
no,
fat.
please, not JR.
He's a little fat. Henry,
fat.
come here.
Yeah, he's not a York. He's not
JR, come
Yorkie
here.
skinny. He's
Come
like he's thick. He's a thick dog.
Thick boy.
He's thick with 2 C's, like that kind of thick.
Steve, would you say Milton is thick?
Milton was when I adopted him, for sure.
maybe
Milton
it's a
was
little
overweight when I adopted him.
But Steve's had him for about 6 months now, and he's been starving him. So
That is ridiculous. I've only had him for 2 months and been starving him. So,
You're drawn in by
He
the
won't. He
thickness.
won't sit still for the Instagram picture, so he doesn't get fed. God damn it.
yeah. Painting him. The problem is the only way he gets exercise is if he follows me while I ride a bike. All right, let's catch up and do the game.
Okay, so we also have that lane boy, £5 for Jeff. I've also forgotten what day we're on.
Nice.
We have Dana, $10. Jeff, we're all going to hell for your set.
Doing God's work.
not how it works, but okay.
Oh, that's funny. And then we have, I said Dead Pirate. He just super chatted $5. Dread Pirate. Dread.
The dead pirate Roberts.
I don't think that word means what you think it means, Rachel.
That is a good point. Rachel, the fact that you got that wrong was inconceivable.
Is that from Blue's Clues?
Yes. Oh my God!
I
Tim
mean-
McLaughlin sucks, right, Jeff? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he does.
It reminds me of the great haiku, "Inside jokes abound, a community."
just
we had I think I just one more. So Amberly tipped the show $5, supporting the fund to help the comedians out of work.
awesome.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you, Martin Grant.
Oh yeah.
All right. So should we get to the game?
Let's get to the game.
Let's do the game.
All right. Again, the game is make a video game peaceful.
All right, so let's go to our live audience first.
Wait, real quick. I just
ahead,
wanted to show
Steve.
you guys. This is what Blue's Clues looks like. This
Yeah,
is
not
what
close.
they thought. No.
No.
There's a chair, like a couch.
They're both cartoons. I mean, I guess
No,
there's that.
Yeah.
But
Kind of. Yeah. By the way, Jeff, there's a dog. Leave him alone.
Please don't hurt my dog, Jeff.
We'll just do the back 9.
Get out of here, Austin. Yourself.
I mean, with how much he looks like Wayne Gretzky and the dog story, all I can hear in my head is he shoots the puck towards the dog. He smacked them against the ice. He shoves the dog into a box. Score!
Yeah.
goal. Okay.
By the way, Ben, that
Unit
impression,
of winning
that
measurement.
impression of a hockey announcer having a stroke was brilliant.
Score!
Very excited to bring on.
We at least promise to put some snippets of this show in your podcast when you edit together. Can you just have a random just bit from here where you don't know where it came
I
from?
also love how I'm saying I'm very excited in the least excited way possible.
Right.
Very excited to.
I'm very excited to announce my guest host, Ben Stein.
This podcast is some weird fetish cameo he's doing where he's got to say, "I'm very excited to be in your bedroom." Right? I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
That was bad. Sorry.
No,
All right,
it was,
Rachel, let's do the
that
game.
was worth a try.
No, I gave up. That's all right. Sometimes I'm
I see
halfway
Jess.
out. I'm like, this is terrible.
I see Jess has her hand up, so let's go to Jess.
All right, so we are making a video game less dangerous.
Yeah.
peaceful.
So
Get peaceful.
less dangerous.
No,
No,
it was
just
Peaceful.
peaceful.
We're making it peaceful. I said it.
I
wrong.
just made it really dirty. Maybe I have the wrong one. I mean,
That'll work.
the thing I could think of.
Find your own peace, Jessica. Find your own peace.
We meant peace, not piece of ass, but okay, whatever.
Hey,
Peace ass video game. Go ahead, Jess.
Super
COD
Fudge
piece of video
Pac-Man.
game, everybody. COD piece of video game. Let's.
What is it?
Super
What's your-
Fudge Pac-Man.
Hey, as long as it's consensual, that is peaceful. That's,
I really want to read my haiku. I feel left out. It's short.
Fudge is a book.
read
and
your
it's
haiku,
I wish-
please. I would love to hear
I
your
wish-
haiku, and I can't wait till syllable 15 when the garbage trucks come in and drown you out.
That was the train. That was the train.
Or the birds fucking behind you. Okay.
Please,
what's the
haiku us.
You know why Ben's interrupting? Because he knows what I'm going to say next. I wish
I don't, but now I'm
that
scared.
I could unsee Ben gently washing his cock and ball sack.
that's the.
Did you guys see that video? It was so disturbing, Ben.
What
Wait,
video?
what?
There's a
Ben's
video.
shower video
Live stream.
was
What?
disturbing.
Okay, I did do a live stream from the shower, but there was no.
Yeah, and I don't know if you realize, but we can pretty much tell what part of the body you're touching at the time.
Could you?
And, oh yeah, you know, you really got to go watch yourself before you post stuff. You know, that's how you catch things.
So you're basically saying by his arm movement, like he's just doing the live stream, and all of a sudden you just see this.
Jess, look at Jess.
Hey Ben, if you want to hold up a bag of cheese, now would be the time.
Cheese. Good job,
Oh
Ben.
my God.
It was so pornographic. I kept thinking, like, I cannot believe no one else commented on this.
Okay, I'm going to be taking that down from my Facebook immediately.
Too late. I already saved it.
You already saved it. Oh, good. Good. So how disturbed were you by it, Jessica?
Well, she's in a pretty good mood, so not that disturbed.
Posted it on our YouTube.
All right, what else do we have for the game?
You guys do a great service, I'm telling you.
It sounds like Ben was servicing during the live stream. What do we got, Rich?
Oh, we've got a couple more in our live audience, so we'll go to Ron Wayner first.
All right, so I guess for those fans of Friday the 13th, instead of Dead by Daylight, you can be Fed by Daylight. Maybe Mom will get you some popcorn.
Yeah, photosynthesis and or a bag of turkey, depending.
All right, let's go to Zara.
I follow that. So rather than a Tekken tag tournament, Tender tag tournament.
Nice.
I've got my favorite, Mortal Wombat. And,
Mortal Wombat!
Yeah. And my
Take care of him.
And look, my last one, similar to Jessica, I just went for make love, not war. So this is for one of y'all. WWF, fuck down, just bring it. Eyebrow salute.
All right.
I wonder who on the show is known for their eyebrows. Interesting riddle.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have, let me look at who's in our live audience, have a Patreon or Tam? Tam is Tam.
Elderly waving. What do we got, Tam?
Oh my God, I feel so like G-rated now compared to all the others.
Don't worry, we'll
my-
make it dirty.
I'm showing my age. Mike Tyson's Punch Bowl.
Oh, I like that.
Let me just say, that is still a dangerous game.
No, that's Bill Cosby's punch. That's Bill Cosby's
And
punch bowl
then-
you're thinking of. That's a different punch bowl.
Yeah.
And then my other one was Super Smoothie Brothers.
Nice.
Super Smash.
First Smoothie Brothers. Love it. All right.
All right. So these are the entries. I had 4 that I really like that are unpaid, and then we'll get to the paid ones. I have Chapper Smasher says Grand Theft Auto Repairs.
Nice.
We've got Hendrick is Resident Emu.
Still a very dangerous game in Australia.
Not in the town of Darwin, am I right?
It's where it's most dangerous, Ben. Learn your geography. Okay.
No, but I meant because they're so used to wild emus there. We all know it.
Yeah, high five. All right.
Surfula had Pillow Fortress 2.
Nice.
And the last unpaid that I really liked was Greg Murphy, Assassin's Resignation.
Nice.
All right. Starting us off is Mario Meezer, Bright Souls, Prepare to Hug Edition. We have David Levy, Super Smash the Like Button.
I like that one.
To the Rescue, WWE SmackDown versus Raw Hides, BDSM Fun. And he then also tipped a comment and said, BDSM is peaceful. Okay.
For one of you.
Yeah, for Dave, for sure.
You just lost your LA privileges.
Done Talk, Command and Conquer Your Fears.
Motivational game. I like it.
Dread Pirate, Space Respecters. Done Talk, Call of Duty, Modern Home Repair.
So we get to play as Bob Ross. Or not Bob Ross, Bob Vila. I got the fucking joke wrong. Anyway, it wasn't that good.
Jess, I don't know if she did this one. It was 6 Pac-Man.
Oh, nice. That's the game that Barris plays for breakfast.
That was the best.
I thought you meant I had abs, but okay, I'll take both. That works. Yeah.
Yes, that is also
the beer
joke
one works
that I
better.
meant.
The beer one works better. But okay.
Yeah.
Zara had another one. World of Woodcrafts.
That's the one I play.
And then Alan Neiman's Carl of Duty. I'm too old for this shit.
Some of these are fantastic.
Jan Johnson, Resident Love Connection. Ming Mercy, Resident Weevil.
Can Resident Weevil and Mortal Wombat come in a 2-pack?
I don't feel like you should be taking a stance on where wombats and weevils should come, Steve.
Steve Gorak just sent in a $2 super chat that said Mortal Wombat Fuzzatality. Just a couple more. So we've got Ellie, Glade Runner. Yeah, Blade Runner was a side quill, but it was a tragic computer game based on the movie.
Yeah, so Glade Runner is just where you run around making your house smell good.
We have Guillerme, Whole Life 2. Jan Johnson, Manhunt for True Love.
I think some game companies need to be watching this. There's some good ideas here.
We have Dread Pirate, Ass Lovin' Creed. Emily Judkins, Personal Space Invaders. Randy Longmire, World of Tank Tops. Peaceful until the final yoga instructor battle.
Mustache is shaved. I'm no longer qualified.
Jeremy Day, Mike Tyson's Peace Out.
Nice.
Ron Gould, Pack Person, because it's wrong to assume
Peace out.
gender identity.
And Mrs. Pack Person.
And then Ron Gould on behalf of Ben, a Sassy Creed, Rainbow Flag.
Sassy Creed.
And those are all the game entries.
All right,
All
nice
right.
work. So, comments, you can
Really
vote on any of the
freaking good
live
ones.
ones or the ones she said when we started that were paid. So,
And just really
Jeff,
quickly, Bauer, sorry, right after that last one, it sounded the most ever, like Rachel said, and those are the gay men trees.
Something you're breaking up, Ben. I don't.
so, Jeff, what was your favorite one?
The Carl, I'm too old for this shit.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, Carl of
Caitlin,
Duty with
Caitlin,
one
what was
vote.
yours?
I liked the personal space one because I felt like that's something I could have my dad play, and I like that it.
So there were
related
two.
to me.
Was it
Personal
Space
Space
Respecters or Personal Space Invaders?
Invaders, for sure.
right.
My dad's an invader.
All right, Rach, what's your favorite?
I liked Jan Johnson, Man Hunts for True Love.
All right. I really liked Mortal Wombat. I really liked Super Smash the Like Button, but I am also going to go with Carl of Duty. I'm too old for this shit. I'm going to go with Jeff. Ben.
I have to go with Carl of Duty. I'm too old for this shit. So good. So funny.
Well, that is already the winner. I also really liked Super Smash the Like Button. That was very funny. Which, by the way, please do. But my vote is also for Carl of Duty.
All right. Three hosts
That's the
agree.
winner.
That happens occasionally. So I like it.
If you are the winner, go to laughfromhome.com, email us, and claim your prize.
Cool. Rach, anything to catch up on?
Yes. So we had Dave Adler, a buck. I heard Gleib runner.
Very peaceful because you get to do not much during all of 2020.
Eat turkey and walk around.
Then we had Tom Joyce tip the show $50. Thank you. I've spent so many hours enjoying your work. It's helped me a lot.
Awesome. Thanks,
Thank you
man.
much.
So much, and feel
Appreciate
free
it.
to leave a comment for Stephen Bowers too.
He was just talking about the 4 seconds of your podcast he was hearing about. That's all he's talking about. Cool. All right. Well, hey, another great show, everybody. Do we want to say goodbye to the live audience? Is that what
We want to do our entries to the game.
Oh, yeah. I always forget that since I don't play. Ben, you have a whole bunch. Steve, you have a whole bunch. Ben, you want to go first?
Got some for
Ben says yes. What's
Yes.
up, boy? Ben, wait, Jeff or Caitlin, do you have any?
I can only think of Sonic the Hedge Fund Manager.
I like that one. Caitlin, you got one?
I got nothing. I got nothing right now off the top.
All right, Ben, how many do you have?
I got about 8, 9.
I got 8. You want to go back and forth?
Sure.
Back and forth.
All right, cool. Since you have 9, you want to go first?
Sure. I've got Fortnite, Mom and Dad, I love you.
Nice. I've got Street Peddler 2.
I've got Grand Thrift Shopping Auto.
I've got Content Birds.
Call of Duty 4 Modern Romance.
I've got Call of Jury Duty. That's actually not a peaceful game at all.
Right. That makes it more accurate.
Resident Evil, but he pays his rent on time.
Bio Mild Surprise Infinite. You have to know the Bioshock. All right. You have to know the
We the People Sports.
Donkey Farm.
I'm ashamed I laughed at that.
Halo, because you're an angel.
It's nice. It already has a theme song. Super Smashed Potatoes.
Not Doom.
This one I have to say carefully. Duck Cunt.
Say it carefully. I've got Space Invaders with Marie Kondo.
Does this alien bring you joy?
And, my final one, NFL Neil.
Wow.
Nice. I have 4 left somehow, so I don't know how to count. I'm very sorry. I've got the first classic Atari game, Bong. I've got Mike Tyson's Lunch Out. Tetris, but just put the bricks wherever.
If you put them on a pallet in the middle of the street, that's not a peaceful one.
That's and just 2 left here. I've got Gran Turismo Gelato, per favore. And I've got NBA homemade strawberry jam. That's it.
All right. right. Those are really good. I like both. I like all of those guys. Those are good job. That's why I don't play the game. I don't need to. You kill it every time. So great job.
Well, I really appreciate the lovely compliment. If I can just recap what you just said, those are really great. Love the chop.
Yeah.
You got it. That's exactly what I was trying to say. What the fuck are you talking about? You don't understand how
Bowers raves. Love the chop.
Great job. That's why I don't play. You know how Rachel doesn't read the end of the sentence when she starts the chats? I don't think about what I'm going to say at the end of the sentence. I just say a word and then try to follow it with another word until I'm done. That's really what
one of these fucking days you guys are going to actually read the script ahead of the show. One of these days.
Rachel doesn't finish the words. Bowers doesn't finish the thoughts. I don't watch the show. Steve doesn't ride the bikes.
You finally figured out all the clues! Yay! We just figured out Blue's Clues.
Nice. All right. Well, I think it is time to say goodbye to the audience now. We got all of our entries in. So, audience, thank you so much for being here yet again. We love you guys so much. You are what make this show. You guys are so fun and cool. So we appreciate it. So thank you, audience. We'd also like to say goodbye to the comics. You guys are awesome. Jeff, how do we find you out in the world? Where do we follow you? Where's your social media stuff?
Thanks. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at New York Jeffrey.
Oh, all right. Easy.
I got it.
Caitlin, where do we find you at in the world?
I feel like it was like a secret when you said it. You're like,
no numbers.
You know.
Yeah, just if you guys have been paying attention, he's the good New York Jeffrey.
You change your name every time you move? Were you like Paducah Jeffrey, and then Chicago Jeffrey, and now you're New York Jeffrey? How's that work?
Oh, yeah. Soon we're going to be world renowned.
Mom's Basement Jeffrey. I get it.
No one's been touring, so now he's just Digital Jeffrey.
Digital Jeffrey.
Zoom Jeff. Add Zoom Jeff.
Yeah.
Caitlin.
Okay, I'm at Caitlin Check on Twitter and Instagram.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, thanks, guys. We appreciate it. You guys are awesome, as always.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Rachel,
thanks
for hanging out. Hopefully we'll find JR a home that does not hit him in the head with golf balls. But
Thank you. A late tip from Ronald Wayner came in for Jeff. It said $10. Great set. Remember, dogs don't go in microwaves. And then two more. Sean Gibney tipped and said, a game that much loved carpentry would be World of Drawercraft. And then Steve Gorak has made a comment. He tipped the show $2, and now everyone in YouTube is coming up with names. But he said, are we shipping Rachel and Zara as Zare yet? And so everybody in the chat is having a lot of fun coming up with nicknames for us.
So like their
couple,
celebrity couple name? Nice.
There's that. And good night.
all right, as always, you can find me at Bowers Comedy. I am opening for Adam Ray this Friday, not last Friday, like I was wrong, at nowherecomedyclub.com. And another fun day. Thanks for hanging out yesterday, boys. We had a good time, and I think we made a little difference, not too much difference, but we're on the right track. So thanks so much. Appreciate it, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Excellent. As for me, check out my full headlining set at Nowhere Comedy Club coming up on Thursday. And then I also have my watch party show. We're watching Secret Optimist the following week. Yesterday was intense. It was great that to be able to go and protest with friends, people you care about. I was somehow appointed to be the leader of cheers at City Hall because it turns out the microphone I've been using all these years has been a prop. Didn't realize I was that loud. Chanting. Well, cheering for us, chanting against the cops. And I will say
he wasn't cheering for the cops. That's good to point out.
No,
he wasn't
absolutely
like, woo! You go, nice work. Yeah. That was not what was happening.
He was yelling, a jolly good fellow.
It was not that.
We We love cops. Yes, we do. We love cops. How about you? And then no one else was cheering. It was terrible.
Bauer's conveniently off screen while he says that.
It's very political once the screen is gone.
I learned for the best.
I will say the moment I enjoyed the most, though, is when we were doing the "What does democracy look like? This is what democracy look like" chant, and then I changed it to "What does fascism look like?" and they yelled at the cops, "This is what fascism looks like," and the cops were kind of like, "Hey," like that was a fun. I appreciated that moment. And I appreciate all the support you guys have given to the show, and also given to us on social media while we continue to be outspoken about this. So thank you much, and we will see, or I'll see you tomorrow. Ben will close.
Thank you guys for being with us. Another great show. It really was inspiring and cool to be able to protest with friends yesterday. I hope the protests continue and get much bigger again this weekend. And I will try to go back out there if that indeed happens. I just did an interview with two amazing African-American leaders, female leaders, who were just on my podcast, which is what you kept hearing earlier by accident. Sorry about that. But coming out this week and next will be with beautiful, amazing poet, just beautiful words, Jessica Caremore. You also know her from the Nas album Nostradamus, and we also had Jamia Wilson, an incredible author and activist, on. So please check that out. I'm hosting the weekly talk called The Other America on Sundays with some friends of mine, and just bringing together some amazing Black voices so we can all listen and learn. So you can all join that every Sunday for the foreseeable future at 5:30 p.m. I think 6:30, one of the two. It'll be on my social media, and that's really it. On a lighter note, my vote is Queen Bending.
Nice.
And I'll just leave it with this, people always ask me what's in the box, and I don't feel it's the time to show you guys that, but I will tell you happily what's in the box. It's still going to leave a little bit to the imagination, but the essence of what's in the box really is